and it is a pleasure to be with you this morning for our Sunday morning meditation. Our opening words are from Kathleen McTeague. We come together this morning to remind one another, to rest for a moment on the forming edge of our lives, to resist the headlong tumble into the next moment, until we claim for ourselves awareness and gratitude, taking the time to look into one another's faces and see their communion, the reflection of our own eyes. This house of laughter, silence, and memory and hope is hallowed by our presence together. And thus the challenge is to figure out how to be together in these times, how to be with ourselves in these times. I did a post on my Facebook page talking about thriving in the middle of the pandemic. And it's a bit of a misnomer to think that thriving would look like it always had. Think that we would set the bar differently in these times. Perhaps thriving is getting on and getting up out of bed and putting on your pants 1 foot at a time, remembering to match your shoes, eating a good breakfast. The bars that we set for ourselves are so different, and each day is different. And I wonder what it is that we are going to carry with us from this year or so. We're into a new year now, but we continue to struggle with the pandemic and trying to get into a new space as a nation and as a world. I'm going to light our candle this morning for all of those people, all of you who are working to find a centering place in your hearts, that solid fulcrum that you can draw upon in your hardest of times, that space that allows you to be carried and held even when things seem difficult or scary. And that solidity can be the strength of our own spirits. It can be that which we hold sacred. It can be love. It can be light and Mother Earth. For me, it is truly love that I feel held by in my hardest times. I feel that need to reach out and touch that sense of connectedness, that sense of being beloved. And I don't mean in a romantic sense, but being held in a community that values me not for what I do or what I represent or all those things. It's for who I am, and for us to be loved and worthy and whole. And that is one of the most powerful things that I've ever taken from Unitarian Universalism, is that we were born right the first time. And growing up in the Bible Belt, so often I was heard, so often I heard about being sinful and being not enough, and that I could be saved through some outside agency, and somehow just by being born I had fallen short. Well, I really reject that notion. I think it's harmful, and I think original sin is very harmful as a concept. And I love to believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and that belief and that love and that being held saves lives, and it helps hold us, especially in these hard times. So I want you to think about the beauty that holds you, and think about worship. Some of us grew up in traditions that told us that worship was to worship a God on high, or to bow down. This is a different way of thinking about worship. To worship is to stand in awe under a heaven of stars, before a flower or leaf in sunlight or a grain of sand. To worship is to be silent and receptive. Before a tree astir with the wind, or the passing shadow of a cloud. To worship is to work with dedication and with skill. It is to pause from work and listen to a strain of music. To worship is to sing with the singing beauty of the earth. It is to listen through the storm to a still, small voice within. Worship is a loneliness seeking communion. It is a thirsty land crying out for rain. Worship is kindled fire within our hearts. It moves through deeds of kindness and through acts of love. Worship is the mystery within us, reaching out to the mystery beyond. It is the inarticulate silence yearning to speak. It is the window of the moment open to the sky eternal. And that's the words of Jacob Trapp. And I love the idea that we can reshape these words like worship or salvation or wholeness to understand a love that carries us and holds us and lets us be worthy and to try again and born right the first time. So as we enter into this time of meditation, I invite you to think about that solid center that holds you during hard times. If you'll please soften your body and your gaze into a restful position. Let your jaw drop and your breath release. We'll have a moment of silence. And take some releasing breaths, letting go of the tensions many of us have held for quite a while. Allowing ourselves to cycle down into a quieter space is good for our adrenal system. It's good for our heart and for our spirit. I know I like to light candles, and especially scented candles when I don't bother other people. Take wonderful sea salt, or not salt, what am I trying to say? The bath salt. Bath salts. I love bath salts. And those sort of small comforts that make you feel cozy. And I guess that's the Higgy way of doing it. I'm probably saying that wrong, but that warm coziness during the winter. And probably during the entire pandemic. I know we are leaving up our lights for the holidays, probably till spring. And because that is what we feel holds us and reminds us of the light. I hope you're finding small ways to be held, to connect, to find light. There's a song that Sarah Dan Jones has shared since I've known her in Dahlonega, Georgia. And if you don't know it, it's one that I have sung in the shower, I have sung in cars and traffic, driving down south with my hands on the wheel, going through Chicago. And the words are, when I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. And it's the idea that you take that peace into your body and then you share the love out. And then it comes back to you because we're all connected, right? When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. And then she does a drone that says, breathe in, breathe out. And it's amazing how often we're not consciously breathing and holding our breath shallow. And it's known that yogis in India and other places live longer lives, at least that's what I've heard, because of the oxygen and the deep breathing. It's good for the body. And I know singers benefit from that breath. And I know it definitely, there's something to that deep breathing, oxygenating our body, like when we do yoga. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I'm going to do one final reading today. These are the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson. These roses under my window make no reference to former roses or to better ones. They are for what they are. They exist with God today. There is no time to them. There is simply the rose. It is perfect in every manner of its existence. Before a leaf bud has burst, its whole life acts. In the full-blown flower, there is no more. In the leafless root, there is no less. Its nature is satisfied, and it satisfies nature in all moments alike. But we postpone or remember. We do not live in the present, but live with reverted eye, lament the past, or heedless of the riches that surround us. stand on tiptoe to foresee the future. We cannot be happy or strong until we too live with nature in the present above time. Ralph Waldo Emerson sounds very Buddhist in that, living in the present moment. And today at 10, I'm going to be talking about thriving in difficult times. And, you know, living in the present moment is hard. It's, we're often lamenting the past or hoping for a better future or not appreciating the now. But when we can, when we walk outside or appreciate the newly fallen snow, or we appreciate the smile of a loved one. I see Marcia likes the sound of my crackly candle, something like that. We are called into that sense of gratitude and connection and perhaps love. So I'll call you to join me or to just listen to the words, maybe gentle your gaze, make your face soft, and listen to these words. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Namaste, my friends. You are sacred, worthy, and whole, and I send love to you. I hope to see you at 10 if you can join us. Thank you.